Okay, we just finished a lecture on the analytic geometry business. So basically a review of Math 100, distance between 2 points in a plane, the midpoint between 2 points in a plane, the slope of a line connecting 2 points in a plane. We talked about x-intercept and y-intercept, basically Math 100 material. We also talked about you probably should, know all those graphs that you've done in Math 100. Although we didn't review that, I'm assuming that there was so much time spent in Math 100 doing that, including what you did in 119, you should be able to graph a line, a parabola, a circle, and certainly other things as well. But anyway, what was new? This symmetry business. It's tough though. We'll go through it. All right. And some people say, oh, it's so tough. I can't do. You got to try. All right. You got to try. All right. So what are we going to do now? We're going to do the example questions. All right. As I do the example questions, again, they may go too quick for you. And that's unfortunate for some students. They panic and they say, oh, gee, I can't get this because it's too fast. Let me repeat this over and over again. There's little side videos on the side. You can watch those at your convenience whenever you want to watch. You don't have to come to lecture to watch those. Also, at the end of the week, these lectures will be published and you can watch these lectures again and again if you like. Or if you find some other alternatives, like for example, YouTube, you can watch that. I do recommend you listen though, all right? At the very least, listen to what we're presenting to you. So I'm going to switch to the whiteboard again. And I'm going to start doing the questions. And I think they're probably not bad questions, but certainly read them. And number one question. Again, I certainly encouraging you guys to read as well. And what does it say? It says find the x-intercept. Now, let's say you have no comprehension what x-intercept is. You'd have to go back and read the notes again. All right. But I hope you do in the language skills that you understand what x-intercept means. It means the point where it crosses the x-axis. And when does that happen? That happens when y is 0. So the only thing you have to do here is set y to be 0. If you did that, what would you get? You would get x squared is equal to 3. And now solve for x. And when you get x equals, I'm using the square root rule like you learn Math 100, plus or minus the root of 3. So I have two x-intercepts. What are they going to be? Root 3, comma 0. Again, the x is root 3, the y is 0. And the other one is minus root 3, comma 0. Those answers are listed right there for you. All right, let's go to problem number 2 now. Again, for the students that find it's going too difficult, come back during the end of the week and watch the videos. Let's do number 2. I'll pull it on the side for you. I'll push this over here. And I'm going to look at number 2 now. Find the distance between these 2 points. Well, not that it's essential, but some students need to label this as P1, P2. I'll put this down for you. So I'll call this P1, which means this thing here is X1, and this thing here is Y1. And I'll call this thing over here P2, which means this thing here is X2, and this thing here is Y2. What's the formula? Well, distance is going to be, complicated, isn't it? It's going to be, let's see, X2 minus X1 quantity squared plus Y2 minus Y1 quantity squared. Let's see if we can do that. And what's X2? It's 3 root 3 minus X1. Well, what's X1 minus 3 root 3? So it's going to be minus and minus is plus 3 root 3. Plus, what's Y2? 3 minus Y1, which is minus 3. Well, minus 3 is plus 3. Well, I think I can do this. 3 root 3 plus 3 root 3 is 6 root 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. Well, I'm going to square these guys, right? And what's 6 squared? That's 36. What's root 3 squared is 3. What's 6 squared is 36. Whoa, these are big numbers, huh? So what does that turn out to be? Let's see, 3 times 36 is 90, 108, plus 6, 114, plus 30, 144. Wow, put this over here. Do you know the square root of 144? Well, you should. It's 12. All right, that's number 2. Relatively simple question. All right, let's go to number 3. And again, you're reading these things, but I don't know what I'm reading. Well, you're reading a question and seeing how it relates to what we did in the lecture. Right? We really, how does it relate? So this one says find the y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept, again, if you want to go back and read the notes, you can. I'm hoping you have some recollection of what's been discussed and what you learned in Math 100. But how do you get a y-intercept? It's fairly simple. All you have to do to get a y-intercept, I'll write this down for you, is set x equal to 0. Let's do that. What would you get? I guess you just get y squared is equal to 9. That was pretty simple. And solve now for y. What do you get? Y equals plus or minus 3. So let's write down the point. X is 0. Y could be 3. What's the other one going to be? X could be 0. Y could be minus 3. Fairly simple. All right. Let's keep going. Let's go to number 4. Number 4 is find the midpoint. And let me remind you about the midpoint formula. I'm going to call this P1, which means this is X1. This is Y1. I'm going to call this P2. This would be X2, Y2. What's the midpoint formula? Add the points together. X1 plus X2 divide by 2. It's just an average. And Y1 plus Y2 divide by 2. It's just an average. Let's see if we can do that. You know, what's X1 plus minus 1? I'll write it down for you. It would be 3 plus minus 1 over 2. We'll do that later. And what do you get there for the next one? You'd get, well, let's see, root 2 plus 5 root 2 over 2. What does it give you? 3 plus minus 1 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. And let's see, root 2 plus 5 root 2 is 6 root 2, and 6 root 2 divided by 2 is 3 root 2. Fairly simple arithmetic. All right, let's go to the next page. And number 5. What's number 5? Analyze for symmetry. I think I can do it. All right, so the first thing is analyze for symmetry. So let's just go through it, see if we can do it. And let's just talk about, you know, one symmetry at a time. And I'll write them down for you. I'm going to talk about, let's see, even symmetry. I'm going to talk about odd symmetry. And I'm going to talk about, let's see, the other one doesn't have a name, right, does it? The other one is x-axis symmetry. There's 3 I need to discuss. If you want to analyze it, there's 3 of them, by the way. We don't do the 4th one yet. How do I do even symmetry? Well, if you replace x by minus x, see if you get the same equation. So I'm going to look at the equation, and the equation is x y squared is equal to 1. So I'm just going to replace x by minus x and see what happens. So I'm going to parenthesize the x and replace it with minus x and see if I get back the same equation. And I don't. What do I get? Minus x y squared equals 1, which is not the same thing as the original equation. So it's not even. All right, let's talk about odd symmetry. Now, if you remember, what I said was replace x by minus x and y by minus y. Well, let me put that down for you. And what do you have here? Is it the same equation? No. So it's not odd. Now, what's x-axis symmetry? It says replace the y by minus y and see if you get the same equation. Oops, sorry about that. I get my eraser out. Well, you get the same equation. So it's x-axis symmetry. That's done. Right? X-axis symmetry. All right. Let's go to the next question, which is going to be number 6 now. Same question, different problem. Analyze for symmetry. Well, let's talk about it again. The same type question over and over again. Even. Well, let's talk about even first. How do you do even? Well, you're going to replace x by minus x and see if you get the same equation. What do you get there? Is that the same as this? No. Let's do odd or origin symmetry. How do you do that? Well, you got to replace x by minus x and y by minus y to see if you get the same equation. Let's do that. What do you get here? Minus x cubed. And you get minus y. What do you get here if you multiply that out? You get x cubed y is equal to 7. Do you get the same equation? Yes, it's a resounding yes, it's odd. All right, let's talk about the last one, which is x-axis symmetry. And what do you do there? Replace y by minus y. See if you get the same equation. You don't. So it's not x-axis, only odd or origin symmetry. All right, let's go to number 7. And I guess I should put that in the side again like I'm always doing, right? Okay, let's talk about it. Even. Well, how do I do even? Replace x by minus x and see if I get the same equation. What do I get? X squared plus y equals 3. Is that the same equation? Of course it is. It's even. Let's see if it's odd. How do I do that? Replace x by minus x and y by minus y. See if you get the same equation. You don't. It's not odd. All right, let's talk about x-axis symmetry. And how do you do that one? Just replace y by minus y, so you get the same equation. And the answers are resounding no. It's not the same one. All right, so it's only even. Is that given in the answer key? Of course it is. Let's go to number 8. I got a lot of nonsense over here, don't I? Let me get my little pointer out. And oh boy, this looks like a tough one. Let me get my little thing out, pull this on the side somewhere. A lot of work pulling this around, huh? All right. Analyze this for symmetry. Let's do even. Again, students often struggle. Struggling is good. What are you going to do? Get even. Replace x by minus x and see what happens. You notice I'm parenthesizing the variable, by the way. This helps some students, other students, it has no effect on them at all. Did you get the same equation back? No. All right, let's go to origin or odd. Odd is also called origin. All right, let's see if we get it. What do you do there? Replace x by minus x and y by minus y and see if you get the same equation. X squared plus xy plus y squared is equal to 9. I get the same equation. It's definitely odd. All right, let's talk about x-axis symmetry. How do you do that? Replace y by minus y. Let's do that. You notice I'm parenthesizing the variable. And let's see if it's the same equation. And it's a resounding no. So we have odd symmetry, all right, or origin. All right, let's keep going. And I guess I just did number 8, right? So I got 9 and 10 to do. I'm going to pull them on the side. Paper's getting kind of dirty here, isn't it? Push this over here. And let me see if I can do 9. And what does 9 say? Find the equation of a circle with center -1, 2, and radius 2. Now, I realize what I'm supposed to say, oh, you didn't discuss this. How could I possibly do that? This is Math 100 material, but I do want to review it with you. So the equation of a circle, we're doing number 9 now, is going to be this. It's going to be a circle of radius r. This is the radius. And it's going to have a center, h, comma, k. What's the equation of a circle? X minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Now, if you remember back to math, where does this come from? Basically, your understanding of distance. And what's a circle equidistance formula? It's basically from distance formula. All right. So what do they tell me? They tell me the center. In other words, they tell me h is -1, and they tell me the k is 2, and they tell me the r is 2. Let's write this down. X minus a -1 is x plus 1 squared plus y minus k, what's k? 2 squared equals r squared. What's r? 2. What's r squared? 4. That's the equation of the circle. All right? You can look at that right over here. All right, that's done. All right, let's do the next one. Number 10, same story. Find the equation of a circle that contains the points, a point -2, 2, and a center 1 minus 2. So what they told me, I'm going to write down what they told me. They told me h is 1, and they told me k is -2. They did not tell me r. But what else did they give me? They gave me a point on the circle. What is that point? -2, -2, which means this is the x and this is the y. Well, let's write down the formula. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. X minus, well, what's h? 1 plus y minus k, well, minus 2 is plus 2 squared equals r squared. I don't know what r is, right? What I do know, I know what x and y are, and they're -2, both of them. So I'll plug it in. What do you get? -2 minus 1 squared plus, we'll do that later, -2 plus 2 squared is equal to r squared. Now someone says, why are you doing that? I want to find out what r squared is. This would be 9. This is going to be 0, and that'll equal r squared. What's r squared? It's 9. Let's write an equation down. I'll put a box on it when I'm done with it. All right, let's look. I'm looking at it. And that's good news. We are done with the examples, by the way. All right? All right, thank you.